When we see the news today, when we read the newspaper, when we watch or listen to news these days, we are filled with pessimistic ideas and pessimistic things happening, extraordinary, out of the ordinary things that are happening in our world today, in our society today. For example, when we see the news, we see in bold headlines about the war between Russia and Ukraine or the war between Israel and Palestine, and how many people have been the victims of war and violence in which they have done nothing wrong. But our news does not highlight anything that is a little bit optimistic. For example, our news doesn't say that in this country crime rate has been stable for the past 10 years and it has no signs of going up. Our news does not show optimistic things like this. Our world is filled with pessimism, and our mind is being pessimistic a lot these days. We have no hope that humanity might come to a point in which there are none of the bad things that we are experiencing today. But even in this pessimistic world, a writer has managed to write our whole humankind's history in a hopeful way, and the name of that writer is Rutger Bregman. Hello everybody, it's me Medhavi Vusal. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I haven't posted a lot of videos, and I was in my own pace, studying in my own pace, and I came across this book. The name of this book is Humankind, A Hopeful History. In our world filled with pessimism today, I thought, why not give this book a try? Maybe I'll be a little bit optimistic about humanity and humankind myself. I came across this book and I bought it. And when I read this book, my concept, how I perceived humanity changed completely at all. So before I tell you all about this book, if you want to feel a bit optimistic, please go to the nearest bookstores or how you would like to purchase, and please purchase this book because this is a must read to everybody. I'll soon tell you why. The writer of this book is Rutger Bregman, and this is an amazing book filled with optimism, which will make you see humanity from a bit different and a bit fresher perspective. Now, let us go into the book. This book is concentrated on only one philosophy, on only one theory. Not only humans, but each and every creature deep down. We're talking very deep down in our mind, in our heart. Every creature on this planet deep down has a good heart, and when in times of distress, everybody wants to help each other, no matter if they are a prime minister of a country or even if they are a criminal of a country. For example, now there was a professor at a university, and he always used to start his semester by asking his students a scenario and a question. The scenario was like this. Type A world, which is now you'll soon find out which world we're living in. For example, a plane is crashing. There are two types of world, and the scenario is given. Type A world, when the plane is crashing, everybody is fighting for their lives. Everybody wants to get out at the same time, and it's just chaos inside the plane. But in type 2 world, in type B world, it is said that people are walking in a very calm and serene way. They are letting the elders and the injured pass first, and only after that they are putting their lives in risk to help others. Now, at the last, after the professor describes this scenario, he tells his students, what do you think? Which type of world are we living in? Obviously, when we see this scenario, our mind comes to type B, type A, which means that the people are pushing and it's just chaos inside. But actually, when we are in a condition of distress, our best parts look up. We're actually living in a world where if there is a disaster or something like that, we actually let the victims and the elder pass before us, because no matter how much money or how much power we have in that world, if our life is going to be the end, if that point is going to be our life's end, then what does money or power matter to anybody? All we want to do is be kind and helpful at the last moments of our life. This was explained very clearly. This kind of research was proved when the Twin Tower was actually blasted by terrorists. When the people were on the top or in the middle or just roaming the Twin Towers and the Twin Towers was blasted by terrorists, they actually let the elderly, the victim, or the dead bodies, people who were carrying the dead bodies, go first to reach the ground. No matter how much risk they were putting themselves into, the people were actually willing to help each other, no matter from which society, which country, or which place they came from. This was actually proved. So it actually proves that deep down, very, very deep down, when our life is at its end moment, we actually have a good heart and we actually want to help others. This book revolves around this idea, and there are many researches and examples proof. In the past, when our Homo sapiens were just in the form of evolution, we did not socialize with any other. We were just minding our own business, going into the jungles. But slowly we started to develop social skill, meaning we started to get social. We started to interact with our own types of breed. We started to do a lot of things together, which proved to be fun and easier as well. Humans are social creatures. According to a research, there were human toddlers and chimpanzees put in the same kind of research, and while they were doing the research, the understanding, casualty, and capacity of that was scored by the toddler was similar or same to the one scored by the chimpanzees. We think of humans as a very intellectual, very intellectual and very bright creature. But yes, human toddlers scored the same as chimpanzees. But there was one thing which they scored, which set them as a unique creature. That is social understanding. That means when the human toddlers were put together, they started to cooperate with the chimpanzees and other animals were not able to do. That is what makes us Homo sapiens unique from other animals, and that is also one of the reasons why humankind has excelled and developed so much in the recent years. In social understanding, human toddlers scored the highest, while the other animals scored the lowest. This is what sets us apart, and this is also why we can develop many things, we can invent many things to our concern, our respect, and we can do a lot of things that other animals can do. That is also why we are reigning over the other animals, and we can control other animals by using our mind as well. Now, when in our past we were a bit rough, we were something like how a chimpanzee or a monkey would behave in the jungles. Our body was made up like that. But slowly, after we started to socialize more, after we started to communicate more, the love hormone and the happy hormone started to get released in our body a lot, making our features more feminine than masculine, making our features soft, and making our mindset calm and serene as well. Making our mindset calm, and this was also proved by research. The silver foxes, which are the most aggressive breeds of foxes, were actually captured, and slowly the love and the happy hormone were released into their body as a method of research. Slowly, when they had really fuzzy hairs, and their ears would stand up like this, slowly, year after year, their body structure started to change. Their face looked more calm, their face looked more feminine than masculine, their body structure started to grow soft. Their hair was being disposed all over, and small patches started to appear in their body. Their ear, which used to stand up, started to slope down, and they resembled more like a dog. So when we see our dog as calm and serene these days, we can think that they were some vicious creature, they were some vile and vicious creature in the past. But slowly, when the love and the happy hormones started to act on our body, slowly, little by little, their ears started to slope down. They were a little happy, they were a little lovely, and they used to adjust with the humans easily. That is what proves that humankind also may have gone through these changes, which allows us to be calm like this. Now, the last example that I'm going to give, which is written in this book, is when Christmas was nearing during World War II. Many soldiers thought that until the Christmas, the World War will end and we will happily go home, we will reunite with our families after such a long time, but that was not the case. The World War was actually on its highest peak, on its climax at that time, and the war did not end during Christmas. But but when the war was between German, France, and England, when they were all gathered around, when the soldiers were gathered around on all of their borders, something shocking happened. During Christmas Eve, each country thought that the other country was planning to plot against them, so because the holidays are kind of distracting even for soldiers. But that was not actually the case. The soldiers started to, in Christmas on Christmas Eve. The soldiers were during World War II actually started to celebrate Christmas, and they sang carols together. Three countries in which wars were rapidly going on. The soldier of the three countries actually sang carols in the language that they all understood. They sang Christmas carols, they made happy memories, but after that, millions of soldiers died in the battle. So this proves that even though two countries are in war, we understand that the other person is human too, that the other soldier is human too. They are of our own breed, and nobody wants to kill their own breed. Also, our research proved that many of the soldiers in a battle do not actually fire a gun. They just keep on loading the guns, and they actually do not want to kill the other human in the other side like we think they do. But actually, one rifle had 32 bullets in it, because the soldier was just refilling and not firing anywhere. So even though the two countries are in war, even though two countries are sitting together, facing each other like they're the worst enemy of the worst kind, the soldier and the people who are actually in the battlefield do not want to kill the other person, as they know that the other person has feelings, that the other person is a living, talking being, and most importantly, the other person is a human. They know that, and they do not want to hurt their own type of breed. This is what happens during wars, and this kind of proves that deep down, everybody, literally everybody, has a good heart, and everybody does not want to hurt anybody. It's something like fear of being beaten or being tortured, or actually something that is wrong with their mindset. They might be facing some conditions which allows them to do that, but actually they do not want to hurt anybody at all. This proves that deep down, everybody has a good heart. Now, we lock our doors and windows at night time, during daytime, or when we go outside somewhere, in a fear that thieves will enter our house and they will steal everything, and all our prized possessions will be gone. But if you know that everybody has a good heart deep down, how would your perspective change? If you think of it like this, if you think of it in a philosophical, intellectual way, when everybody has a good heart, nobody wants to hurt each other. It's just because of just because they are forced to do that sometimes. And this, when you think of it in a calm way, this completely changes your mindset about how you think about Homo sapiens and humans as well. What I learned from this book is that when in this world where we suspect everybody of being a thief, everybody suspects us as well. The main lesson I learned from this book is that if you treat somebody like dirt, if you treat somebody like terrorist, they will become a dirt, they will become terrorists. But if you treat somebody as humans, if you treat somebody as an equal, then they will treat you the same way as well. For example, if somebody compliments you on your dress, then you are quickly to give back that compliment as well. For example, if somebody approaches me and says, your dress looks gorgeous, or you look pretty beautiful, then I will return that comment. So do you. I will say, you look beautiful too. But if somebody comes up and gives us a savage insult, or somebody comes up and gives us a hateful comment, then we are quick to return that comment as well. That's why if you should treat others the way you wanna be treated. If you treat somebody like dirt, they will treat you as like dirt as well. So the main lesson I learned from this book is that do not suspect everybody, and treat everybody as an equal, treat everybody as a human. Thank you.